Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the most important recording projects ever. Yeah, there are really quite a few of these, actually. But this one was suggested by one of you after I did my video on the Monteverdi edition on Brilliant Classics, which featured these, the complete madrigals sung by Le Nuovo Musiche under Krien Kurzfeld. Very, very fine performances by an exceptional group of Dutch madrigalians, or madrigalers, or madrigalisters, whatever they're called. Now, there are several actual recordings of the complete Monteverdi madrigals. There's that one, and there's this excellent one on Naxos, which is backwards. This excellent one on Naxos, featuring Delitiae Musicae under Marco Longini. Another very, very fine set. They've also done the complete Gesualdo. It's really terrific. So, we're not exactly shy now of Monteverdi madrigals, and there are, of course, single discs and other things like that. Quite a few, in fact. However, the one you mentioned, and the one I agree is one of the most important recording projects ever, is this one, featuring La Venexiana on Glossa. All 8 books of madrigals. There are actually 9 books, but this only has 8. The 9th was published posthumously, and these other collections have 9. So that's why there's a difference in the number of discs. This takes 11 discs, and there's a bonus disc as well, which contains all of the original booklets and librettos with texts. Thank God. I mean, that's important. You've got to have those. I mean, this comes with all the original booklets. This, I think, has a PDF in it somewhere. Some Italian texts, yes, available at BrilliantClassics.com. I mean, they all know it's all vocal music. So you've got to be able to get the words somewhere. But this is a glorious collection, an absolutely glorious collection. And the reason it's one of the most important recording projects ever is because Monteverdi's madrigals don't just show a Beethoven-like advance in style from one book to the next. It's that, rather like Beethoven, Monteverdi's evolution in style was also the evolution in style of Western music more generally. He was the guy who was going where the winds were blowing. And it's really an amazing thing. He was both responding to changing styles, but he also created the new style. And you hear that very, very clearly in these madrigals. They're really exceptional. The distance he travels from book 1 to book 8 is absolutely astonishing. Now, you basically know how madrigals operate, right? I mean, you've sang some of the English ones probably, which are just lovely. They're fa la la and ha 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 and he he and up and down and titty fa la and throw the Yule log on Uncle John, that kind of stuff. The English madrigalists are also quite extraordinarily fabulous. It's a world of music, a wonderful world of music. I hope I can go into it in more detail at some point because, they're thrilling to sing. I sang a lot of them. I was in a little musical group when I was in high school, and we sang a lot of that stuff, and it was endless fun. But beyond that, they are musically gorgeous and affecting and passionate and amazing. And the Italian ones, of course, are particularly juicy when it comes to the pangs of love and desire and loss and all of that wonderful stuff. But just consider the first few books are normal madrigals. 4 voices, 5 voices, and they're all about love and nymphs and shepherds and things like that. And, they're like 2, 3, 4 minutes long. But then you get to volume 8. You work your way up to volume 8, Madrigali, Amorosi, and Garieski, or Garescos, or, the madrigals of war and love is what they're called. They go from, let's see, 16 something. Oh, tiny print. These people are going to kill me. 1651 for book 1. And the 9th book is 1651. What am I saying? 1587 was the first book. And the last was 1638. So you've got 50 years or so of musical history. And it is musical history being made. Because by the time you get to the 8th book, let me take it out here, this little booklet, and let me just show you what's going on here. You've got This does have the ninth book, by the way. I was wrong at the beginning, so ignore me. They're just quicker, or they stuff them more on CD or whatever they are, but it's okay. You've got, by the eighth book, let's see. They start to get like longer and more involved, and then you get like collections of madrigals that tell a story, kind of like song cycles. Like in the fifth book here, you've got Echo Silvio Colei, a whole bunch of madrigals about like what's going on with Silvio and stuff like that. And then these things get in the sixth book, pardon me, you have the Lament of Ariana and Zefiro Torna, which is like really famous. You know, it's like breezing winds. And then you have Lacrime Diamante al Sepolcro del Amata, the tears of the lover at the grave of the beloved. And it's a whole madrigal series. It's like Kindertotenlieder or Die Winterreise or something like that, only in madrigals. And so the seventh book begins with, concerto it's called. You've got a sinfonia at the beginning, and it's quite long. It starts stretching out into 2 volumes, 2 CDs, and it ends with a ballet. A madrigal ballet. How do you do that, right? But then you get to the eighth book, Madrigali Guerrieri ed Amorosi, madrigals of war and love. And here you have an introductory sinfonia, and then the Combattimento di Tancredi e Clorinda. I love that. 25-minute operatic scena that depicts a battle between Tancred and Clorinda with a narrator, and it invented like the tremolo. It was like one of the first things in which Monteverdi decided he could use repeated notes to like depict things. And more than that, it has a tremolo because unlike the earlier madrigals, which are accompanied by a lute or a guitar or a nothing at all, these have an orchestra of strings and continuo. You've got, a whole panoply of things going on. So this one has the Combattimento, and it's got normal madrigals too, of course, but you get solo madrigals. You have the Lamento della Ninfa, the Lament of the Nymph, one of Monteverdi's most famous pieces. And it all ends with the Ballo delle Ingrate, which is a 40-minute long ballet / opera / thing about Cupid and Apollo, or one of those gods. I don't know. They're going down to visit Pluto, the god of death, to figure out why the women of some Mantua or some Italian town are not in love sufficiently, and they're being punished for that. And so he summons up the shades of the loveless women, and Cupid's arrows are not working on them. He's firing, and they're ignoring them and swatting at them like darts. And they're told what their punishment will be for being loveless women. Ooh, how horrible. And they lament their sorry lot. You always end with a lament. But the point is that these things are big and huge, and they're in many, many forms. They show all the kinds of things that music can do. Madrigal was like, it was like the symphony of the day. It was a blank slate for Monteverdi, in which he could somehow create entirely new realms of musical expression and explore the boundless depths of human passion. And it just gets me all hot and steamy just thinking about it, really. And this set on Glossa with La Venexiana that also gives you the ninth book. Sorry, I said that wrong at the beginning. There it was. But you see, it's coupled here with the first book on CD1. That's how I got it wrong. Oh, these things are so complicated. When I listen to it, I just put it on and listen to it all the way through, and I don't know when like book 9 starts. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is that they're all here, and they sound glorious, and the performances are stunning, and the music is unbelievably important, and just so well performed. In all of 3 of these sets, I have all 3 of them because I love all 3 of them. I really do. This is just amazing music and important in the best possible way, by which I mean it's just thrilling to listen to. Whether you know it's important or not important, it doesn't matter, because what you hear is the freshness of a new discovery of Monteverdi exploring the nooks and crannies and boundless vistas of musical experience to express the human passions. And there I go again, I just can't help myself when I talk about this stuff. And you won't be able to either when you listen to it. So give it a shot, friends. And whether it's Venexiana or Delizie Musicae or whatever this thing is, La Nuova Musicae or Musica Concertata or Disfractio Musica Basil Claplutensio, whatever they call themselves, doesn't matter. This is La Venexiana, and it is amazing. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.